I'll never forget the sound of my phone ringing at 3 a.m. That distinctive ring that jolts you awake and immediately fills your stomach with dread. It was my dad, his voice shaking. "Your mom fell. We're in the ambulance heading to the hospital." Those words changed everything. As an ER nurse for over 15 years, I've treated countless fall victims, but nothing prepares you for when it's your own mother. Lying there with a fractured hip, confused and in pain. The worst part: her fall happened on the way to the bathroom, just 15 feet from her bed, a trip she'd made thousands of times before. You know, it's strange. I've spent my career helping families through medical emergencies, but somehow I never thought it would happen to us. Mom was only 72, independent, still gardening and hosting family dinners. She wasn't old in our minds. But that single fall changed her life and ours forever. I'm Sarah Mitchell, and after 15 years as an emergency room nurse, I've become passionate about something that might seem simple but is absolutely critical: preventing falls in our homes, especially for our aging parents and loved ones. What I'm about to share with you comes from both my professional experience and my deeply personal journey helping my own mother recover and creating a safer home for her. The statistics are staggering, but I want you to know this isn't just about numbers. Every year, 1 in 4 Americans over 65 will experience a fall. That's more than 36 million falls annually. And here's what keeps me up at night. Falls are the leading cause of fatal and non-fatal injuries among older adults. Behind each of those statistics is someone's parent, grandparent, spouse, or friend. Let me take you back to that night in the ER. As I held my mom's hand while we waited for her X-ray results, I kept thinking, I should have known better. I should have done something sooner. You see, as healthcare professionals, we're trained to spot risks, but sometimes we miss what's right in front of us. Mom's house, the house I grew up in, had become a minefield of fall hazards that none of us noticed. The hardwood floors my sister and I used to slide across in our socks. Beautiful but incredibly slippery. The bathroom she was trying to reach. No grab bars, poor lighting, and a threshold that created a slight but dangerous lip at the doorway. The throw rugs that added warmth and color to every room. Each one a potential trigger for a devastating fall. That night changed how I saw my childhood home. And it changed how I approach patient care in the ER. Now, whenever I treat someone after a fall, I don't just address their immediate injuries. I ask about their home environment. Because I know now that most falls aren't inevitable accidents, they're preventable events. Let me share what I've learned, both as a healthcare professional and as a daughter who transformed her mother's home, and eventually my own, to prevent these life-altering accidents. Falls don't just happen because people are getting older. There are specific, identifiable risk factors that we can address. The CDC identifies several key risk factors: lower body weakness, vitamin D deficiency, difficulties with walking and balance, certain medications, vision problems, foot pain, or improper footwear. And this is the big one: home hazards. What's crucial to understand is that fall risk increases dramatically when multiple factors are present. My mom, for instance, was taking a new blood pressure medication that sometimes made her dizzy if she got up too quickly. Combine that with poor lighting and no support in the bathroom, and you've created perfect conditions for a fall. Here's something many people don't realize. Our balance and reaction time change as we age, but our homes usually don't change with us. The house that worked perfectly in your 50s might become increasingly hazardous in your 70s and 80s. And the changes happen so gradually that we often don't notice them until something happens. After Mom's fall, her doctor explained that many older adults develop what's called fear of falling, which actually increases their fall risk. They become less active, which leads to decreased strength and mobility, creating a dangerous cycle. This is why proactive home modifications aren't just about preventing that first fall. They're about maintaining independence and quality of life. When I walked through Mom's house after her accident, I started seeing it through new eyes, my professional eyes. Let me take you through what I discovered, room by room, because these same hazards likely exist in your home or your parents' home right now. In the living room, those beautiful area rugs were unanchored, creating tripping hazards. Furniture was arranged in a way that created awkward pathways. Lighting was atmospheric but inadequate, creating shadows and dark zones. The kitchen had cabinets that required reaching or climbing to access. Everyday items. The step stool Mom used was wobbly and outdated. And the floor, that gorgeous tile floor, became incredibly slippery when even slightly wet. The stairs lacked proper handrails on both sides and had inconsistent lighting. Some steps had slight variations in height, literally just a quarter-inch difference, that could easily catch a toe and send someone tumbling. But the bathroom is where most falls happen, and Mom's was a textbook case of what not to do. Slippery tile floors. A tub with a high side that required stepping over. No grab bars anywhere. Poor lighting, especially at night. And a small threshold at the doorway, just enough to trip over when making a middle-of-the-night bathroom trip. You know what's fascinating? When I point these hazards out to families, they're often shocked. But this house has been this way for 30 years, they'll say. And that's exactly the point. The house hasn't changed, but our bodies have. What was once convenient becomes dangerous. What was once manageable becomes risky. Here's the good news. Some of the most effective home modifications are also the simplest and most affordable. You don't need to completely renovate your home to make it significantly safer. Let me share the changes that made the biggest difference in my mom's house, the ones I now recommend to every patient I treat after a fall. First, lighting. We installed motion sensor night lights, creating a lit pathway from the bedroom to the bathroom. No more fumbling for light switches in the dark. We increased the wattage in existing fixtures and added lamps in dark corners. The difference was immediate and dramatic. Second, we addressed the floors. All area rugs either got non-slip backing or were removed entirely. We applied non-slip treatments to the bathroom and kitchen tile. And we created a no-polish rule for the hardwood floors. Shine looks beautiful but increases slipperiness. Third, and this was a game changer, we installed grab bars. Not just in the shower, but near the toilet and in hallways. Today's grab bars come in stylish designs that look like towel racks or decorative elements. They don't have to make your home look like a hospital. In the bathroom specifically, we added a shower chair and a handheld shower head. We replaced the traditional bath mat with a non-slip version that stays securely in place. And we reorganized her toiletries so she didn't have to reach or bend to access everyday items. Throughout the house, we created wider pathways by rearranging furniture. We secured electrical cords along walls instead of crossing walkways. and we moved frequently used items to shelves between waist and eye level to minimize reaching and bending. The total cost for these modifications: less than $1,000. The potential savings in medical bills, rehabilitation costs, and human suffering: immeasurable. I want to emphasize something important here. These modifications don't just prevent falls. They create an environment where your loved ones can maintain their independence with dignity. My mom initially resisted some changes because she didn't want her home to look like a nursing home. But modern home modification products are designed to blend seamlessly with your decor while providing crucial safety benefits. While physical modifications to the home are essential, creating new habits is equally important. This was actually the hardest part for my mom, and it might be for your loved ones too. After decades of moving quickly through her home, Mom needed to learn to slow down, to turn on lights before entering a room, to use handrails every time, to sit down to put on shoes instead of balancing on one foot. We created simple routines like a safety check before going to bed, making sure pathways are clear, necessary items are within reach, and night lights are working. We established a rule about carrying things, keeping one hand free to hold railings or grab bars when needed. One habit that made a huge difference was proper footwear. Those comfortable but floppy slippers had to go. We found supportive, non-slip house shoes that stay securely on the feet and provide good traction. We also addressed medication management. Many falls happen because of side effects from medications or from interactions between multiple medications. We created a system to review all her medications with her doctor, established a consistent schedule, and set up reminders so she wouldn't miss doses. Perhaps most importantly, we worked on strength and balance exercises that her physical therapist recommended. Just 10 minutes of specific exercises daily can significantly reduce fall risk. Mom started with simple seated exercises and gradually progressed to standing exercises using the kitchen counter for support. These habit changes require patience and consistency. There will be resistance. Change is hard at any age, but especially when someone feels their independence might be threatened. The key is to frame these changes not as limitations, but as tools for maintaining independence longer. I want to share some technological advances that weren't available when my mom fell, but have revolutionized fall prevention and response in recent years. Smart home technology now offers motion-activated lighting that can gradually brighten as someone enters a room. No more sudden light that can cause temporary blindness, and no more fumbling for switches in the dark. Wearable devices have evolved far beyond the old "I've fallen and can't get up" buttons. Today's wearables can detect falls automatically and even predict fall risk based on changes in gait or balance. Some can monitor vital signs and medication adherence too. Voice-activated systems like Amazon Echo or Google Home allow people to control lights, thermostats, and even call for help without having to move across the room. Floor sensors can be installed that detect unusual movements or falls and automatically alert caregivers or emergency services. Even something as simple as a video doorbell can prevent falls by eliminating the need to rush to answer the door. What excites me about these technologies is that they provide safety while preserving dignity and independence. They work quietly in the background until needed. But here's my caution as a healthcare professional. Technology should supplement, not replace, the basic home modifications we've discussed. The best fall prevention strategy combines thoughtful home design with appropriate technology and regular physical activity. One of the most common scenarios I see in the ER is adult children who are trying to have safety conversations with their parents for the first time, after a fall has already occurred. By then, emotions are running high, and decisions are made under pressure. I want to give you some guidance on having these conversations proactively, based on what worked and didn't work in my own family. First, timing matters. Choose a neutral moment, not in response to a near miss or a concerning observation. If the conversation feels like a reaction to something they've done wrong, defenses go up immediately. Frame the conversation around independence, not dependence. Mom, I want to talk about some updates to the house that could help you continue living here independently for as long as possible. Works better than "I'm worried you're going to fall." Be specific about your concerns, but also about solutions. That rug isn't secured to the floor, which creates a tripping hazard. They make non-slip pads we could put underneath that would keep the rug you love while making it safer. Use "I" statements rather than "you" statements. I would feel more comfortable knowing you have grab bars in the shower versus "you need grab bars because you're unsteady." Consider bringing in a neutral third party. Many communities have occupational therapists or certified aging-in-place specialists who can do a home assessment. Sometimes recommendations are better received from a professional than from family members. If you meet resistance, try the "just for now" approach. Let's try these grab bars for a few months. If you don't find them helpful, we can always remove them. Often, once safety features are in place, their value becomes self-evident. And remember, this isn't a one-time conversation. It's an ongoing dialogue that evolves as needs change. The goal is to stay ahead of crises, making thoughtful modifications before they're urgently needed. I want to share something that many people don't fully understand until they've experienced it. A fall isn't just a physical event. Its impacts ripple through every aspect of life: emotional, social, financial, and familial. After Mom's fall, her recovery from hip surgery took months. But the physical healing was just one part of her journey. She experienced depression during her rehabilitation. Her confidence was shattered. She became anxious about leaving the house, which led to social isolation. Her world became smaller. For our family, roles shifted overnight. My dad became a caregiver, a role he wasn't prepared for. My sister and I juggled work, our own families, and Mom's care. The financial impact was significant. Even with good insurance, the out-of-pocket costs for her care exceeded $15,000. Research shows that after a serious fall, approximately 50% of older adults never return to their previous level of independence. Many move from their homes to assisted living facilities. Some experience accelerated cognitive decline due to the trauma and medication effects. I share these realities not to frighten you, but to emphasize why prevention is so crucial. The best time to fall-proof a home is before anyone falls. The best time to build strength and balance is while someone is still mobile. The best time to have safety conversations is before a crisis forces them. In the ER, I often think about how different the outcome might have been for the patient. In front of me, if someone had installed a $30 grab bar, or removed a throw rug, or improved the lighting in their hallway. Such small changes with such enormous potential impact. The modifications we made to Mom's home after her fall should have been made years earlier. They would have been exactly the same changes, but implemented proactively rather than reactively. And they might have spared her months of pain and our family months of stress. As I wrap up this conversation, I want to return to that night in the ER with my mom. In the years since her fall, I've treated hundreds of patients with similar injuries. I've sat with their families as they received life-changing news. And I've thought again and again, it doesn't have to be this way. The simple home modifications we've discussed today aren't just about preventing falls. They're about preserving independence, maintaining dignity, protecting quality of life. They're about ensuring that our homes, the places where we should feel safest, don't become danger zones as we age. If you take nothing else from our conversation today, please remember this. Fall prevention isn't admitting defeat to aging. It's the opposite. It's taking control. It's being proactive rather than reactive. It's making smart choices that extend independence rather than restrict it. I encourage you to look at your own home or your parents' home with fresh eyes. Start with the highest risk areas: bathrooms, stairs, and pathways to the bathroom from the bedroom. Make one change this week, even if it's as simple as improving lighting or securing a rug. If you're caring for aging parents or loved ones, have the conversation now, not after a crisis. Approach it with respect and focus on how modifications support independence rather than signaling decline. Remember that aging in place successfully requires planning and adaptation. Our needs at 80 will not be the same as our needs at 60. The home that works perfectly today may need thoughtful modifications tomorrow. I believe deeply that our home should evolve with us, supporting us through all stages of life. The changes we make don't diminish our homes, they enhance them, making them truly functional for the lives we're living now. My mom is 76 now. After her recovery, the modifications we made to her home allowed her to return to independent living. She's back to gardening, hosting family dinners, and even volunteering at her church. Her home now supports her needs instead of challenging them. I'd love to hear your thoughts and questions. If you're considering home modifications or having these conversations with loved ones, please share your experiences in the comments. And if you found this information helpful, please share it with someone who might benefit. Thank you for joining me today. This conversation about how we create homes that support us as we age is one of the most important we can have. Because with some thoughtful changes and open discussions, we can help ensure that home remains the safe haven it's meant to be for ourselves and for those we love for many years to come.